Bump towers. Mama laughing. Did that used to be Trump Towers? No, it's a B now.
It's a bump tower.
Towers?
All right.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm so hard on this knucklehead now is because of this story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this hurt my heart.
It's because of this story.
That story hurt
my heart. A Palestinian American boy was killed and his mother injured after landlord stabs them because they were Muslim.
Because of Muslims.
I don't like this extreme talk.
Thank you.
That's why I don't like Comb Over.
Yeah.
Or Dracula.
That confusion, that spirit that causes up people to get angry and be fearful.
I bet you $20 he's mega. I guarantee you he has a mega hat in that house.
They'll do background for sure on this man.
A Chicago area landlord was arrested and charged with the M word and hate crimes after authorities said he stabbed and killed a 6-year-old boy.
6-year-old.
And seriously wounded his mother.
His mom.
Alleged because the tenants were Muslim.
Oh, Lord.
Joseph Zuba, whatever his name is, 71, old hag. He don't even look 71. He look like he about 100 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy man.
Oh, my God, Lord help him.
71 was charged with first-degree M-word, attempted first-degree M-word, and 2 counts of a hate crime and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Ooh. The Will County, Illinois Sheriff's Office said in a news release. The U.S. Justice Department also opened a federal hate crime investigation into the attack. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced Sunday. The sheriff's office said that this nutty buddy did not make a statement to detectives, but investigators determined the victims were targeted by the suspect due to them being Muslim and the ongoing Middle Eastern conflict involving Hamas and Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Hamas and Israel. Mm-hmm. The family is Palestinian. Mm-hmm. And came to America seeking what we all seek, a refuge to learn, live, and pray in peace.
Yes, nobody bothering them.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden said they were shocked and sickened over this attack and offered their condolences to the family in a statement.
You almost wish that he do the M-word to himself.
And I think
after that,
the boy, you know how many times the boy was stabbed? 26 times.
Think about it.
26 times.
What is in you?
And succumb to his injuries. What little boy is going to survive? This little boy.
That little
26
body.
times.
That little body. This man. What was he on?
Nothing.
What was going on
the
in him?
devil.
What was going on in him?
The 32-year-old mother who had more than a dozen.
Yeah, herself.
She's older, so she was able probably to withstand it more.
Mm-hmm. And he's the landlord of the building.
She's recovering in the hospital, expected to survive. Imagine surviving knowing your son was stabbed 26 times.
They had his funeral, was it today? Because of their religion, they have to have it right away. So they had his
As Americans,
funeral.
We must come together and reject all forms of bigotry and hatred. The statement from the White House read, I have said repeatedly that I will not be silent in the face of hate. We must be unequivocal. There is no place in America for hate against anyone. Well, you know what, Biden? Let's go a step further on that. Let's go with you going out saying you don't agree with Israel starving out millions of Palestinians looking for Hamas. Mm-hmm. You don't believe in that, right? You just said it. You don't believe in hatred, not just in this country, but anywhere. Anybody innocent, period. Mm-hmm. Nobody innocent should be caught in anything.
It makes it tough when...
I'm not saying you can't, you right. have an authority over Israel, but can you at least say something? Can you say something?
Biden did.
He did?
He didn't want them to do that.
Where is that at? Let me look that up. He said that publicly?
I think he did make a statement.
Let me see.
Biden
probably
would make that statement because that's common sense. Nobody wants anybody to die. You're trying to figure out how to do this where you get...
That's what I want.
People of Hamas and those in control, those who are taking hostages and hurting people. How do you strategically go in there wasn't there a rumor that they got one of the leaders?
It says Biden stressed his
they took their lives.
Biden stressed his belief that Israel would act by the rules of war and that innocent civilians would have access to medicine, food, and water in an interview with CBS News 60 Minutes. He said he didn't believe Israel should control the territory long term, saying instead of the territory should be governed. His belief that Israel would act by the rules. He didn't say he didn't speak out against it. He said, I believe they won't do it. They did turn the water back on.
But he has made statements towards that, Kim. So don't make it sound like he's heartless.
No, I just want to see the statement. That's all.
And then too, even if he didn't, let's just say for case of the worst case scenario, we're still hoping that like people are saying, because people have different views on this. They're thinking, okay, leave Hamas alone because leave
them alone.
No, as far as Israel, don't go in there like you're thinking you're going to do or whatever, because a lot of innocent people will get killed.
They still got to get them.
Whatever they can do strategically to get in there. But we just heard on the news that they got a few of their leaders,
which is good.
They killed the commander over there. So if you kill your leaders, hopefully everyone will be running, going,
okay, so let me say here. Good.
And people will be going, okay, what will we do now? What will we do now? Our leaders are dead.
Let me say what he said this weekend. Because I don't want to throw him out there if he said something, but I don't want to listen to y'all either if I can't prove it.
But still.
President Joe Biden on Saturday spoke with Palestinian president and said, and Israeli prime minister, urging the leaders to allow humanitarian aid to the region and affirmed his support for efforts to protect civilians.
Yeah. Okay. And a lot of people.
That's what I want to hear.
And a lot of people in the news have even been speaking with the surrounding Arab countries.
Yes.
And Egypt, and they need to take a stand and not be blocking their things. Right. Okay, if you only want so many people through, maybe certain people from other countries, I don't know. But you guys need to take part of that as well.
Yeah.
And not allow people to die.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We know as spiritual people that we still got to continue to pray.
Yeah.
So,
but that's why I don't like this extreme talk, because when you do extreme talk, there's knuckleheads who go off and do stuff like that.
They did that when we had the terrorist attack on our country. We were still kind of wounded, and everybody was still trying to get over that. And I didn't know the guy on Saturday Night Live. What's his name? The comedian?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
What's his name? Davidson?
Yeah, Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, his father
was a firefighter, and he passed away in the 9/11.
Yep.
So this hits home for him.
Yeah, it does.
Any terrorist attack.
Yeah, it does.
But
his father ran in the building as it was going down.
Oh, my God.
So his father died a hero.
But even recently, since we all know when Trump got in office, all the things that's been happening has always been there.
Right.
That spirit has always been.
Golden.
He stirred it up, and he gave a face for it.
And again,
like, yeah,
because we're not Republican or Democrat.
Right.
I don't like the extreme on the Democrat side.
Either side.
I don't like when they go extreme. That one group that like the Proud Boys, but they on the other side. The ones that's liberal.
Yeah.
And they end up blowing up stuff and setting things on fire and churches and stuff like that. What are you doing?
I don't like violence.
I don't like that. Just stop all this extreme on both sides, you big dodo birds.
In all honesty, how we've been pretty much setting the tone and how we feel. If you go back to the 60s, there's concerns that I even had with some of our Black groups.
What do you mean?
Because a lot of times we were different. We had different opinions on how we wanted we wanted justice for all and civil rights. And some people was for civil rights movement and how Martin Luther King was doing it. Some was for Islam and how they were doing it. Some was for the Black Panthers and how they thought about doing it. So we were even,
as long as it was not,
and no violence in any of those ideals. We didn't want violence.
All right, hold on. I disagree that you can't have any violence. I disagree with that.
What would you condone violence?
Okay, but that's the war. So I do agree.
Well, Kim,
come on.
Let's be real.
So I'm saying,
I'm not talking about war.
I'm saying if somebody is hurting you, you have the right to defend yourself. And some people would call that violent. And I'm saying different people had different ways of responding to that. Of course, Martin Luther King was turn the other cheek, like Jesus. If somebody throw a rock at you, turn the other cheek. There was some black groups was like, no, if you throw a rock at me, I'm going to throw some back at you.
Yeah.
Everybody has their, and I don't care about you throwing rocks back at people. All I care about is people who are innocent, who are not involved in anything.
We are saying the same thing.
All
Nobody's talking about when somebody come at you,
move on.
how you going to respond.
Right.
I'm just saying, if we can find a way to do things where we talk, where we negotiate, where we, and I know there's people like this crazy man, who won't listen.
Well, I agree.
And you're right. With people that won't listen, you're like, oh God, he ain't listening.
I agree here. Justice for All said the inmates will take care of him when. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not anti-violent. Yes. Tear him up when he gets in there.
I am definitely against when Trump got in office, how people felt like they had now a reason to come out with their anger.
He emboldened them.
And I didn't like that when he called the COVID, the China flu.
Right.
There were a lot of Asians that were getting beat up, and that was not good.
Because people are stupid.
God, that was not nice.
Emerald says, I agree with you, Kim, about Candace. Every so often she makes sense. Then she hits you with a zinger. Thank you.
That's that bone that you can't let choke
in your throat. You got to spit the bone out, Emma. Spit it out.
Because you'll choke on it.
You'll choke. If you listen to her too long, you'll choke on something. Oh, my God. You can't sit back and relax like you watching a movie and eating popcorn with Candace Owens. You gotta be. She's the type of dish you gotta eat with like buffalo fish,
real like
not catfish, buffalo fish. They got the real tiny bones.
Be careful
in it.
How you eat on it.
If you sneeze, it'll get caught in your throat and kill you.
You're like, oh, one of them bones got in my throat,
and you eat it. It's good. It's like okay, all right, okay, but you gotta keep your defense up when you eat that type of food. You can't just relax with her. So yeah, that's Candace Owens. All right, so that's it with them. That man needs to be thrown under the jail, and I agree with violence. I agree when he gets there. I agree with you, Justice. They need to take care of him. Oh, you like stabbing people 26 times. You want to know what that feels like, huh? To get stabbed 26 times.
And if he does go to prison, there's a Muslim group in prison.
Oh, yeah.
So you are messing with a religion that do wherever you go.
Yeah.
They're not going to like you hurting a child.
Plus, even without the religion, they don't like people messing with kids.
That too.
Yeah, they're going to
got double whammy.
Yeah, get him.
Okay, go ahead.
Get him. All right. Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, she talked today on The View. They gave a little footage of her and her daughter.